Alright. This is a match I'm interested in seeing. I wonder how this deck lines up against these blood decks. It's going to be really good against an aggressive deck. It's got, so, starting from scratch, we've been unfamiliar with the deck that we're playing. We're playing a Reanimator deck. So we use our blue Sparrow champion activation to draw a card and then discard a card. And we use that in conjunction with powerful troops like Eternal Seeker to put them into our discard pile and then return them to play with copies of Mordrom's Gift here, which once we play the Sapphire Threshold out, you'll see Mordrom's Gift will turn into a 4 cost. So we can reanimate something scary like an Eternal Seeker as early as the 4th turn of the game. Yep. Vampire Prince is kind of annoying. So one of the things you want to do in this deck is you only want to make sure you're only using your champion loot when you have something you want to discard or you're looking for something specific. And in this particular case, I don't have anything to do on the 3rd turn of the game here, and I have this Eternal Seeker that I wouldn't mind discarding, so we're definitely going to hammer this and look for something to do. Does not give us something to do this turn, but we'll be able to bring back Eternal Seeker next turn with Mordrom's Gift and get rid of this Vampire Prince. More on a Liquefied Vapor. Alright, so you saw thing flip off the top of my deck. So when this hits me, it buries the top card of my deck, and if it's a resource, my opponent turns it into a Bloodstone, which is basically a blood resource that gains them a little bit of health. Withering Gaze. Joke's on you, opponent. I got 2 Mordrom's Gifts. Probably gonna lose one of these 2. And this kind of sucks because, like, my opponent's playing a control deck, so there's a pretty good chance that this Eternal Seeker is going to get hit by... They took my Sorcerous Sculpting? Okay, so they must not have spot removal for this then, right? If they don't have a way to kill this, that's going to be big game for us. Big, big game. Morning, Burgle. So when Eternal Seeker comes into play, we pick a number, and it voids every other card with the cost of that number. So pick 2. The Vampire Prince right on out of there. Yep. So, opponent discarded a coin resource, which lets them draw a card, and we lose 2 health. They do have a hero fall. Interesting. Morning, Max, with the 21-month resubscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome back. Heading towards that blood gem. I appreciate it. It's a long time. Thank you for continuing to put up with me. Brink of Badness has to be terrifying. Yeah, probably. But that's one of the things that's really, you know, appealing to me about Hex, right? Like, there's powerful threats and powerful win conditions. And this is, oh, Renner was coming up. I should have put a resource on top of my deck. That was a mistake. One of the things I really love about Hex is that they put really powerful answers alongside really powerful threats. So I think I'm going to play this Coralcove Witch out and make this Mordrom's Gift cheaper. So hopefully I can generate a little bit of tempo next turn. Because I need to tag this corner. So what it's going to do, you don't have to loot every turn and put something else into play. Huh. See? Because I did that, I get to do this now. So Primordial Cockatwice is a 7-cost troop, and when it comes into play, it makes them discard 2 cards, or for just 3 resources, I can make them discard 2 cards and then put Cockatwice back into my deck. And Cockatwice is such a sweet card in this Reanimator deck because it like gives you something to do even when you don't have your reanimate spells going on, right? You just like nug our opponent with that. Extra resource out and pass the turn. Actually, I'm gonna loot. There's 4 Runebinds in my deck. I'm gonna loot. I was gonna say, is there, and again, that's a question you want to ask yourself before you're looting, like, is there something in my deck that I could draw that could have an impact this turn? And if the answer is yes, and you have something you don't mind discarding, it's probably an okay idea to go ahead and loot. Blood's Favor, yep, so I'll probably draw 2 cards and lose 2 health, yep. You have a Princely. It's a really powerful card. So Crowbones says, deploy, put a socketed card from your crypt into your hand. So he's gonna go ahead and, hey, Shadow Rill with the 8-month resubscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome back. I appreciate the continued support. As always, the absolute best way you can show your support for my content here is with a subscription, so I really appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm gonna play Crowbones out here. Gonna come into play. He's gonna grab this 2-cost Mordrom's gift back. So now, if they kill my Crowbones, they can hit me with the Vampire Prince. I'll be able to Mordrom's gift the Crowbones back and get my Mordrom's gift again. So this is kind of like the invincible, undying, grindy threat. Unless my opponent has some way to interact with my crypt in their main. You can have a Phantom. You can have a Phantom. I know it has speed. I want it to block the Vampire Prince. Like, the Prince is potentially gaining them 3 on the backswing, so, like, there's no reason for me to attack with this. I'm basically just, like, giving my opponent 3 points of damage if I attack with this Bob. A Strangle, sure. It seems fine for me. My turn, so you go back into play. Here's the number 1, get rid of their Phantoms, go ahead. This is my board is amazing. They took one of my Dreamcalls. Well, that's not very good for me. So we're gonna draw 5 cards here. Remember that time I didn't Fate Weave a resource to the top of my deck? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Well, the good news is we're hitting them to 6. That's the good news. We get Sorcerous Sculpting, they're dead. So Sorcerous Sculpting copies this. And then this guy brings Sorcerous Sculpting back to my hand. I'm so goddamn professional. Such a goddamn professional. Just the best at children's card games. I'm gonna be the very best, like no one ever was. Boo, 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 boo. It's not unlimited Crowbones, but it was enough Crowbones. Am I supposed to board assuming that they're gonna have Brink of Madness coming in? Probably, because this is a cheap shot matchup. I think I'm supposed to take some Sorcerous Sculptings out. It's definitely a Primordial Cockatwice matchup. I think I want some of these Halts. Yeah, this deck could go infinite in a really awkward, really awkward manner. It's not likely, but it happens on occasion. I think I want to just trim these Sculptings because they're pretty bad against spot removal. Even though obviously it was fine there, right? But I think in general they're bad against spot removal. Bring in a couple of Halts, the extra Cockatwices. I don't know if I want Verdict here. Like, what is Verdict? What card in my deck right now is Verdict better than? Maybe Coralcove Witch is a cut, just because, like, this matchup's not about going fast, and using her to protect my threats is a little clunky. We can do this. Let's try this. Witch is more for, like, the matchups where you, like, need to have Seeker on 4 or 5 more often, so you can, like, make your Seekers cheaper with her. Oh, I was gonna change the resource base in this deck, right? Yeah, someone remind me to put 2 more ice in this deck after this. What should you climb back up with? The mid-range interactive decks, like control decks, are really good right now. Sapphire Diamond Control, the blood-based mid-range decks like what my opponent's playing. This Reanimator deck seems sweet too. This hand is great. Mind Rot, Mind Rot. Hand is literally just like 4 2-for-1s. This guarantees I get a 3rd resource thanks to X's excellent Fate Weave mechanic. Fate Weave is so great. wonder if they're gonna turn ice into core commons. I probably wouldn't complain if they did. Seems like it would be great. Hey, Emma Land with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I really appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support my content here. So thanks and welcome to the Ruby Sub Club. They buried a Cockatwice. Right, a damn sure. Yeah, that is exactly correct. They are so much better than Scrylands. It's kind of unreal how much better they are. Alright, 2 for 1 you. You weren't attached to those cards in your hand, were you? Culmination in Blood. That's a scary one. Culmination in Blood starts at 10 cost, and then for each troop in all crypts it gets -1 cost until it eventually is free, and it makes us discard our entire hand. Good one to know about. It's a good one to know about. We're gonna go to 14 from this hit, maybe 13. They did not hit another troop. Deal. Alright, they generated a 2 for 1 themselves. They missed a shard drop. It's good for us. Shard? Shard? Ding, ding, ding. The shard here is sweet because it means I get to go ahead and do this to my opponent. Or do I wanna whisper? I probably want to whisper here, actually, right? So I probably shouldn't have played the shard yet. I think I want to just... Yeah, that's unfortunate. We're going to wait on my champion power because I'm not 100% sure what I want to discard just yet. I think we need to find a Mordrom's Gift so that way I can get the Seeker into play. Like, I need to impact this board, right? Like, this Prince and this Bride are just going to kill me. We had this handful of 2 for 1s, and I'm just dying to their cards. Alright, so... I don't need a Shard, Burgle. I need a Reanimate. I don't need a Shard. I need a way to not die. Not greedy, that's smart. God, we're so dead. We're dead if they've been a resource off our deck here. I don't have anything. I have like... Yeah, I boarded into too many cards that play to the chain, and they just like went Prince and are killing us now. Mistakes were made, chat. Mistakes were made. Well, I mean, that's a Runebind. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go for gold here. We're gonna hope they don't draw a shard off our deck. And we want to hit a Mordrom's Gift. Still, so they get their Bride back. They got a shard. We didn't die at least. We've got that going for us, so, you know, thank God for the little things. Down to 3. Another Bride, yep. That is totally reasonable and beatable, opponent. I can manage to not die here, almost certainly. You are too little, too late, I think, here, Mr. Mordrom's Gift. I guess I get to Eternal Seeker and, like, wipe their 3s here. And if they miss on... If they miss on a shard here... Hey! Z! With the Twitch Prime support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome. I really appreciate that. Welcome. So if this doesn't hit a thing, stop it. If this doesn't hit a resource, we won't be dead yet. So we need to dodge. There needs to not be a shard on top of our deck, and I like our opponent trying to kill us here. This is their chance. Yeah, not dead. I'm not dead yet. All right, and I like. This is interesting. Do I Heart's Whisper? And no, I'm just gonna take all 4 of their cards away. I was like, I could Heart's Whisper and like look for a way to protect this, but the best way to protect this is probably just emptying my opponent's head of all of their cards. Just smack them with Macaque twice. You weren't attached to those cards, right? Just build my own Culmination in Blood. All right, big buck snow removal spell. Big buck snow removal spell. Big bucks no removal spell. They're gonna draw a Runebind off the top of my deck and it'll be really sad. Oh baby. Oh baby. Halts and Runebinds is what we're looking for. Another Mordrom's Gift. That's fine, right? I'm gonna start with Heart's Whisper too. We get Morning Coach. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and grab this Crowbones back. Grabs a Mordrom's Gift. This insulates us from a single piece of removal because it gives us a second blocker for this. Coach there in chat is the perfect person to ask about how to approach PvE. He's like Hex's resident PvE expert. What if I put this Cockatwice into play and made you discard 2 more cards? Would that be something you'd be interested in, opponent? I know you've already discarded like 800 cards, but what if we made you discard 2 more? I'm just gonna let this happen. I could Runebind that, but I think I'd rather save the Runebind for the potentially ripping a removal spell and killing our Eternal Seeker. Just, yeah. Hex is fun. Get 2 for 1. This deck is gas. Gas-o-lean. Let's get him. Get him. A big scary cocks. Look at them. Look how big and scary they are. Oh, we do have to dodge the Acropolis coin, right? Like, I feel like we're getting pretty locked up, but like, coin's like the one way they could really get back in this, right? Alright, let's do this. Comes into play. And this is why Crowbones is sweet. Like, there's this really convoluted infinite combo in this deck, but like, the reason why this card is in this deck is because it just like generates value in the way you just saw. Alright, just casual 38. Let's wear him down here. Fallen Singularity. That's kind of scary. So this says whenever they play a blood card, they gain 2 charges. And at the start of their turn, all their blood troops are going to get. So let's throw another Seeker in here. So, alright, let's Dreamcall for 3. I just want to use my resources here. These cards do. End of your turn, bury for each troop you control. This is a draw 2, sure. Mystic Naturalist sounds great. Grab a resource. Limited All-Star Mystic Naturalist for those who are unaware. It's my bae right there. Was my bae in a previous life. Alright, we're gonna crack with these 2. Declan Scott, get out from back there. You are not allowed to play behind Dad's computer. Go. Play Mystic Naturalist out as a potential blocker. Pass the turn here. Again, not really looking for anything in particular, so I don't want to. Go. Go. This is not a game. Go. And toddlers, man. Toddlers. Alright. Return. More Crowbones. That's great for us, right? Alright, let's just end this game. Let's Runebind your thing. Let's play this Crowbones out. Like, limit the number of turns my opponent has to draw a Necropolis coin and kill us. So smash here. Smashy, smashy. Just let them dead next turn, right? Yeah, so go. Maybe I should leave one of these back just in case they have something random with speed. Injure another resource, deal. Stop it. I was wondering why they put a resource on top of their deck. It's like that. That's really odd. Sweet. Alright. I was thinking that matchup might be hard, but that felt pretty good. That deck grinds pretty well. Ooh, bit of a brew. You have Slate here, 4 charge champion. While 3 or more artifacts are in your crypt, 4 charges, summon a Warbot, which is a 3/3. This is a keep. Interested to see what our opponent is doing. The old 61 card special from our opponent here. No stranger to that one. Oh, I didn't put more ice in the deck. I'm gonna write it down. Ice, ice, baby. Let's. Need to put more ice in my deck for the 3rd game because ice is great. I don't know why there aren't 8 ice. That's pretty good. I guess Dreadlings are good at enabling Slate too, right? Well, this hand's great if we can rip a Sapphire next turn. If we rip a Sapphire next turn, like we have a Loot, we have a Heart Whisper to propel us to a 4/3 source, and then we have Mordrom's Gift plus Seeker here. I've actually never played against the 57 shard deck on the ladder. I don't think it's particularly common towards the top where I'm at. Warp Steel widget. Whenever an artifact enters player to your control, add a Warp Steel counter to this, and then you can transform it into a random artifact with cost equal to the number of counters on it. Hey, ice, ice, baby. Put another resource on top of my deck here. Not the Sapphire I'm looking for, but that seems particularly good. So if we hit a non-slow Sapphire source next turn, we can activate our champion power to drop this Eternal Seeker in the bin and then make our opponent very sad when we throw it back into play. So these skittering cultivators, every time they diligence, they throw 2 Dreadlings out. Sapphire, please. Sapphire Shard. Ding, ding, ding. A Well of Cunning will do. Do that. Activate this. I mean, that's an artifact, right? So it's Eternal Seeker. Flip my Eternal Seeker out. If we don't get like Runebinded here, sweet. Right, choose 2. Get rid of your stuff. You weren't too attached to your stuff, were you, opponent? Make another shard. That'd be sweet. Ding, ding, ding. I'm so professional. But I'm just gonna go ahead and mind drop my opponent. Just discard 2 cards. You weren't attached to those cards in your hand, were you? It'd be a damn shame if you were. If I was disconnected, I don't know, hopefully get their connection sorted. Wait for them to come back. I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for spending part of your day here with us. My name is Jeff Hogan. We're hanging out playing some Hex Shards of Fate this morning. If you're enjoying what you see, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, helps other people find my work here. If you're really enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. Those both help support myself financially directly so I can spend more time producing wonderful content like this. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. HexPrimal.com will love to buy and sell Hex TCG singles with you, and using promo code Jeff5, you could save 5% on your orders there. And InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats and mouse pads, as well as a bunch of sweet accessories for physical card games like binders, playmats, sleeves, stuff like that. I should work on a Hex show screen. You're not wrong. I only have 2 sponsors for Hex currently, so I feel like I can't really NASCAR it up just yet. What should we play after this, chat? I like to get some variety in our lives. Probably play about an hour of this, so maybe this match and one more. We'll see how long this one takes. what other decks would you like to see? What's been itching on the ladder? I have pretty much all the constructed staples and sub cards that are too bad to be constructed staples currently. So what should we battle with? Sapphire Wild Momentum? Yeah, we can play some more of that. That deck seems sweet. I actually think I have to rebuild that deck. We had took it apart for... I think I turned it into like a Furryco deck that wasn't particularly good. I want Furryco to be so good so badly. He was like my buddy from last season that just like wasn't quite good enough. Something Worth 3 Poplar sounds like it could be sweet. I think that card's genuinely good. Yeah, I definitely want to play some Sapphire Diamond Control. I think that deck is great. I think that's one of the best decks in this current format. So I 10 out of 10 want to play that a little bit. Yeah, we've played some sockets on stream. We've hit a lot of them. Need to, what was it? Standard deck guide. I just updated the standard deck guide on here. Oh, they have wax sacraments in the resource base. That's smart. Very smart. He makes the most adorable sound when you play him. Alright, looks like my opponent is unfortunately timing out here. I guess we'll definitely be playing another one then. Hopefully they are okay. And they weren't just salty about my Eternal Seekers gobbling their boards up. Runebind is one of the more powerful cards in Sapphire Diamond Control. 10 out of 10. The reason why Sapphire Diamond Control is good is because of Runebind and Darkheart. It's not a card that you could unfortunately really budget in the archetype. It's so good. It's just like, it's like flexible on top of being good. Oh, look at that. We're back up to 10th. Making back that meme rank that we lost yesterday. Morning DS. Oh, ice. I wanted to put ice in my deck. I'm looking at my thing, and my note says "put ice in your deck, idiot." And it's just like, oh wait, yeah, called myself an idiot because I should do that. So we're cutting 2 blood, and we're going up to Sapphire. So I'm cutting 2 blood. So I want to go down. I went down 2 blood and 2 Sapphire, and I'm adding back in 2 blood and 2 Sapphire. Just play. If you're gonna play slow shards, play 8 ice in your deck. Yeah, see, you're very smart and this deck is great, but put 8 ice in your deck. It adds so much consistency, it is ridiculous. In fact, the only place I could see an argument for playing slow shards like Necropolis Coins over ice is if there's a blood aggressive deck. I'd love to go first. Okay, so yeah, sounds fine. Adani Zedek is generally a control champion. This is the champion that Sapphire Diamond control decks I've been playing. I think incorrectly. I really don't like this champion in Sapphire Diamond control. It could also potentially be the Blood Diamond Verdict control deck that is going around a little bit. I think this champion's great in the dedicated verdict deck because you could really like the verdicts become good when you can like pile them onto your opponents. But when you can't pile them on, they're just like these random extra verdicts. They don't seem particularly great. The standing disc is great. I'm actually sitting right now. I don't know if you could tell that, but I am sitting right now. But I like the flexibility to go back and forth. I just guarantee another resource on top of my deck. Probably want to hit my first 4 or 5 this game. So probably Sapphire Diamond. The verdict deck doesn't usually play drops of wax. Well, there's like a Turbo PA variant Dwight that play the Candle Lady, and I think the Candle Lady is fine as well. I think the proper champion for Sapphire Diamond control is either the Candle Lady or Calic, the Fate Weave champion. You want to read? Got your book? So many of the battle boards are pretty fantastic. They're just like such a nice little small thing. Just gonna go ahead and make sure we guarantee our next 2 resource drops here. Perfect. Hit a Mordrom's Gift anyways. Hopefully smack our opponent with a big giant cock next turn. Maybe I want to try the Turbo PA deck today, actually. I think the Turbo PA deck's probably really good against like Sapphire Diamond or these other control decks. Yeah, maybe we'll try that after this. I want to play something new. I also I'm a big sucker for Cosmic Calling. It's one of my favorite hex cards, so if we could have an excuse to play Cosmic Calling. The Turbo PA deck is does like similar things to Sapphire Diamond control while also having some really proactive draws. So it's kind of what you want to be doing in this format. It grinds but can also run people over on occasion. Okay, so they runebound me. That's fine. The thing we're looking to dodge is I guess Darkheart's really bad for us here, right? They go Shard, Darkheart. They get to make us sack this rune. Into the unknown. Okay. They really don't want that to happen. That out for now. Just pass the turn here. Next turn I could go ahead and flash this Coralcove Witch into play. Probably making the Sorcerous Sculpting cheaper. I think I want to leave myself the potential to set up a combo kill here. So the combo kill, for those that are unaware, this deck actually has an infinite combo in it. It's really convoluted. You use Coralcove Witch to make the same Sorcerous Sculpting cheaper twice. And then... Okay, so actually what we're going to do here is, this is kind of sweet. We actually could set up the combo kill for next turn, right? So I'm going to make my Sorcerous Sculpting cheaper here. And then I'm going to go ahead and Runebind my Coralcove Witch. And if we draw a resource next turn, we actually kill them. Yeah. So how this works is, if we make this free Crowbones gets a card back from our crypt to our hand, and then Crowbones gets the free Sorcerous Sculpting back, and then Sorcerous Sculpting... I have a phantom, but then Sorcerous Sculpting makes other Crowbones, which gets the free Sorcerous Sculpting back. Shard? 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 Nope. Start with this, see what we get. Well, the problem with change coursing for a shard is that I can't... Oh, wait. Oh, this is so sick. We're going to get him. So I get Mordrom's gift here, right? No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Yeah, we're just going to gift the Cockatwice, right? Just gift my cock. Give the gift of cock. Give your opponents the gift of cock. It's the gift that keeps on giving, really. It's unfortunate because, like, my opponent's, like, almost certainly playing a control deck, right? So, like, if we would have hit this turn and comboed then, that was, like, our window to get, like, in underneath it. Yeah, we would have dealt an arbitrarily large amount of damage to our opponent if we'd hit the shard there. Which is unfortunate. Block. You have a Clash of Steel coming or something? Nope, just throwing away their 1/1. Into the unknown, sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Put a random resource on top of my deck. And then I'm gonna go ahead and loot. Which lets me draw the resource, discard this, which then triggers my Coralcove Witch. We're re-runebinding my Coralcove Witch. Okay. Cheap shot this Phantom. Play this Inkheart Infuser. Everything looks better in blood. To make my Sorcerous Sculpting blood. Do this. Am I gonna Sculpting this? Nah, probably not. Oh, because I need this in my hand, right? For when the witch comes back off. Winter's Grasp, but that's rude. Well, we don't just die to this Silver Talon Adjudicator here. I guess I get to play this Eternal Seeker out next turn, right? No, I don't think so. Jeez, we just need to... If we draw a resource next turn, we get to kill them. We get to combo kill them if we draw a resource. Dear Hex, can I please draw a resource? If we don't draw a resource, we get to, like, make 2 Crowbones. Oh, that does it, right? Because this guaranteed gets us a resource? So I grab the Permafrost. So I get to go ahead and do this. Make my Sorcerous Sculpting free. I said this combo is convoluted, but it happens. Especially with, like, Runebind trickery like what you saw there. So grab this back for later, but that doesn't matter. Because we have this Sorcerous Sculpting in our hand that's free. So we Sculpting the Crowbones. And then Crowbones gets our Sorcerous Sculpting back. And then we Sculpting the Crowbones, and Crowbones gets our Sorcerous Sculpting back, and then we Sculpting the Crowbones, and Crowbones gets our Sorcerous Sculpting back, and eventually, we have all these Crowbones with speed, and then they die. It's pretty great. Pretty great! Bedeep, bedeep, bedeep. Bedeep, 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 bedeep. What am I boarding out? What am I boarding out? Is this a Dreamcall out matchup? And Sorcerous Sculpting, like, actually just isn't very good this matchup, right? think this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is really bad against Runebind, right? We did just twin them. You're not wrong. It takes a little bit of work, but we did just twin them. Twinning! This is Hex's standard constructed format. What's up? I almost feel like there's too many counterspells in this deck. Like, every time I play it, I'm like I don't like this. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut all of those, but that's like the only thing. The timer is for while you're reserving. So the Hex ladder is best 2 out of 3. So in between games, we get to adjust cards between our main deck and our reserves. Then we play another game. So when the first player wins 2 games, the match is won by that player. That's fine, right? Couple interrupts. Back Sacrament on one again, sure. Why did they not make a candle? Hey, look, another counterspell. Our deck is mostly counterspells post board, so it seems fine. What did this deck lose to in the top 8? I love data. It's so good. So yes, he went 7-0 in the Swiss of the Bash, but he didn't win the tournament. What did they die to? I don't know if I could tell what they died to. Wow, so he actually lost to a control deck. Because they either lost to Mono Blood or Sapphire Diamond. Oh, he's keeping it to discard to the Cockatwice. That's really smart. That's really smart, because the candle doesn't really matter. Good catch, Joe. Good catch. Wanna sit by Dad? Say hi, Internet. My name is Declan. You put your hand in Dad's pocket? Is there a pocket on Dad's shirt? Is there a pocket there? Dad's pocket. Because everybody plays Zedek with this deck, Jin. I think it's terrible, and people keep copy-pasting Zedek, but, like, it's really bad. Like, comically bad. And I get that none of the champions are very impressive this season, but, like, Kalik and, the Illuminate champion are both slightly better. Look, if Zedek was 3 charges make a Nightfall, I'd be in. It's not 3 charges make a Nightfall, though. I think the Fate Weave one is great. 25 starting health total is, like, very real. No. Don't you want goes? You were watching Wings, and you told me to turn it off. Hey, look, the illusion of choice. So one of the reasons why I took the non-slow shard there was because I really don't know what this hand is looking for. Like, I'm kind of okay drawing shards and non-shards at this point, so like, Bring back my dreaming fox. Where's my fox? Can I get a fox with $1? I'm not playing out a card here, and the reason for this is because my opponent has to move to hand size here, so there's no reason for me to play this witch and like give them a target for an interrupt or something else, because I'm gaining virtual card advantage here by letting my opponent move to hand size. Basically, as long as we're making resource drops, we're not playing anything until my opponent plays a shard. They play shard, sure. Oh, my sweet summer child. These poor kids will never know the Dreaming Fox. My sweet. Oh yeah, and Burgle. I don't think Burgle even played then. Man, the Sapphire Diamond Banks deck. That was an annoying deck. Let me tell you what. You could kind of play Dreaming Fox in Immortal. In Immortal, there's two types of players you could be in Immortal right now. There's people who want to win, so they're playing Redlings, and then there's a vast wasteland of people getting dumpstered by people playing Redlings. Banks back my dark heart. That was the jam, right? Yeah, I'm just passing. All right. Declan, leave that alone. It's a dark heart. Declan Scott. Leave that alone. I mean, there's really no reason to single out PS4 players in that post. We had plenty of PC players that had the same issue because Hex and Client doesn't currently differentiate that very well, and I don't think that's the player's fault. I think Hex could do a better job of showing like what is like competitive things and what isn't. So go ahead and loot here. Ditch this Eternal Seeker. Mordrom's gift back this Eternal Seeker. I already had a Seeker in there, huh? Whatever. So here's the problem. Declan Scott, you're part of the problem. Go. Rat. So here's the problem. Much like Modern, this child. Yeah, the child. We're putting the desk up because the child's annoying. Yeah, free counterspell. So here's the problem. Look at the number of people playing Redlings in those tournaments. There aren't... The number of people currently playing Redlings in Immortal is not comparable to the current power level of the deck, in my opinion. And what that means as a result is that if you can't really metagame the deck. It's basically the Modern problem, right? For Magic, where it's just right to play the linear thing because you can't really metagame the linear thing because there's so much other stuff going on because people just want to play bad decks, right? So like you can't play a metagame deck in a format that doesn't have a really good defined metagame. And Immortal hasn't really honed in like that standard format did. Like the standard format where Lasgar's Vengeance eventually got banned from. Lasgar's Vengeance was almost 50% of the format at tournaments. So like you could metagame the Lasgar's Vengeance decks because they were half the tournament. You're a brat, tiny child. I love you. Do I have PA build? I thought I had Turbo. I thought I had a Turbo PA deck built at some point. Yeah, okay, Turbo PA. I had, wait, why is this? Why is this? Oh, this is Klutz's Spellstorm. Yeah, I think this is bad. This was bad, right? Let's play Cassia and play more traditional.
And we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if, like, the Immortal Championship is more defined. But, like, as far as, like, playing in, like, the weekly events every week's go, if your goal is to win those, you should just play Redlings because there aren't that many Redlings decks. There just aren't. Alright. Warp Steel's pretty bad. Mind Call is not what we want to be doing. Alright, what is this deck supposed to be doing? What is the rest of this deck supposed to look like? This build does not want Nameless Draught in it. Let's put some Sapphire Shards in here. I am playing on Linux. My streaming system is all Linux, all the time. Probably want a second Psychic Ascension. Ow, dude. Yeah, please do, Wade. Link it. Save me some brain power. I implore you, save me some brain power. Should be some whispers in here, probably. Oh, right, we get to play Arcanovex and Unhenge. Oh, I didn't realize. I need to look at this bash data better. I just saw Cassia and assumed it was traditional control. I didn't realize that they played a PA-esque like deck. Wow, no Runebinds in the main, really? This deck is weird. Clash of Steel? No Heart's Whisper? I don't understand. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm gonna play Runebinds. I'm gonna play Runebinds. All right, I like Unhenge though. Unhenge seems great. Wrath of Elements is interesting. Look, all I'm saying is that the format right now is very much about grinding people out. So just grind people out. It's cool. It's cool, I promise. Yeah, this is like just a rush. All right, let's stop.